Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is October 16th, 2025, and the Spanish Players Association continue to oppose the match between Barcelona and Villarreal being played in Miami, Florida. Also, bad news in regards to Ferran Torres. And finally, Polish sources stating that Lewandowski could end up playing in Atletico de Madrid. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin by discussing the match between FC Barcelona and Villarreal, which will be the 17th fixture of La Liga, because of course the Royal Spanish Football Federation and UEFA have both approved for this match to be played in Miami, Florida, which will be the first time ever that La Liga hold an official season match outside of Spain. And since day one, the AFE, or the Spanish Players Association, as it's known by its Spanish initials, have been against this. In fact, when this was first announced, the AFE released a statement opposing the Villarreal and Barcelona match being played in Florida, and all 20 captains from all First Division teams in La Liga signed it, including Ter Stegen as the captain of Barcelona, and also the captain of Villarreal. Now, after UEFA approved this move, reluctantly so, because UEFA are not in favor of this, but they approved it because they said, well, there's no rules that prohibit it, so we're just going to have to approve it. But once UEFA approved this, the AFE, or the Spanish Players Association, decided to hold a meeting with La Liga and with the captains of all 20 First Division clubs. And this meeting was supposed to happen this last Tuesday, but it did not, because La Liga canceled, and as a result, the president of the AFE, or the Spanish Players Association, David Agnaso, released the following statement. Tuesday was supposed to be the meeting with Tebas and the clubs. We wanted some transparency and respect towards the players. More than just taking a game to another country, we wanted to know if the collective bargaining agreement was being fulfilled, the details surrounding the journey, the working conditions. We wanted information from La Liga. If it's as special as La Liga say, why is no other club celebrating it other than Barcelona and Villarreal? I have not seen any statements celebrating it. I can't guarantee it will go ahead. Very interesting. I can't guarantee it will go ahead. It's the players that play these games. Football is improving, but the conditions have to as well. We have to protect the players. Now, when Agnaso was asked whether he believes that this could, having the match played in Miami could present an unfair advantage, he said, of course. The players also think that. Villarreal have a better chance at home. Outside Spain, the top clubs have much more fans. It will be as if Barca are at home. So, David Agnacio, upset that the meeting did not go through with La Liga, and saying, look, the only reason we wanted to meet with them is because we want more information about what this trip will entail, what the working conditions are, what the hours, how many days they're going to be outside of Spain, etc. Why? Because there is a collective bargain agreement between the players and La Liga, because the Spanish Football Association, or the AFE, is the union of players who play in La Liga, and there's a collective bargaining agreement between the players, represented by the AFE, and La Liga. So the AFE, they're like, we just want information. How is this going to happen? When are they going to travel? When are they going to come back? How many days they're going to be there, etc. Why? To make sure that this trip does not violate the collective agreement between the players, being represented by the AFE, and La Liga. But La Liga have yet to give the AFE any information. And as a result, David Agnaso saying, well, since we don't have the information and we don't know if the collective bargaining agreement is being fulfilled or violated, I can't guarantee that this will go through. In other words, we could be looking at the players refusing to play, or kind of like a mini strike. But again, that's not the case right now. They're saying that could possibly happen if La Liga don't give the AFE the information that they are requesting, which, by the way, this has been a constant complaint. Back when the Royal Spanish Football Federation approved this, the AFE once again said, hey, we still don't have that information. So they've been saying this for weeks and weeks, saying we want information, and La Liga still refusing to give the AFE the information they're requesting, which, as Agnaso is hinting, it could end up turning into a strike. Now, La Liga released their own statements in response to the Bidagnaso saying, hey, we canceled because, we had scheduling conflicts, but we did offer 3 proposed dates. So in other words, they're still willing to meet with the AFE and the 20 captains from the first division clubs. We'll see if this meeting takes place. We'll see when it takes place, and we'll see what comes out of this meeting. And of course, I will be here to cover it. Now, on to the next bit of news, because we do have bad news in regards to Ferran Torres. Now, as we know, Ferran Torres felt some discomfort in his hamstring while training with the Spanish national team. As a result, he was released from his international duties. He went back to Barcelona. He underwent medical exams, and thankfully, it was not an injury. It was just mild discomfort. Now, as a result, Barcelona have been very cautious with him, because even though they're saying it's a mild discomfort, they don't want to aggravate it. It's not an injury, but they don't want to aggravate it to where it does become an injury. And the bad news is that today he did not finish training. He only did part of the training with the group. The other part did it in the gym. Now, this has been their routine since he came back to Barcelona, because again, it's not an injury, but Barcelona don't want to aggravate it. So he hasn't been doing full group training sessions. So you might say, well, Mo, how is this bad news? It's bad news because if he's still doing this training regimen, half in the gym, half with the group, it means he's still feeling the discomfort. And if he's still feeling the discomfort, it means that Barcelona most likely will not risk him against Girona, which is only a day and a half away. And if Ferran Torres does not play against Girona, that's going to leave Hansi Flick with very few options. As we know, Robert Lewandowski is already injured. If Ferran is not fully fit by then, who's going to play as the center forward? Okay, who can play Marcus Rashford there? But then who plays in the left wing? Rafinha still not fully recovered. Unless we have Rundi Bardarji on the left and Lamine Yamal on the right. I don't know, but we're looking a little bit skinny in the attacking front. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news, because since I did mention Robert Lewandowski, it's being reported that the club are upset with the Polish striker. Why? Because while he was with Poland in the international during the final match or the second match of the FIFA international break, Lewandowski started feeling some discomfort, some pain in his leg. And instead of asking to be subbed out, he continued to play. A bandage was applied to his leg, and he ended up playing the full 90 minutes. And now, as a result, Lewandowski has returned to Barcelona injured. He will be out for a full month, and that means he will miss the match against Real Madrid in El Clásico. And, of course, as a result, Barcelona are upset at him because, well, he's 37 years old. And as a 37-year-old, you need to know the limits of your body. You cannot be taking these risks. We're not talking about Lamine Yamal, who's 18 years old, who's young, who's inexperienced. He still doesn't know his body too well. And even if he does, he's just 18. He wants to play. He doesn't care. He doesn't assess risk. No, this is a grown-ass man. He knows his body. He knows the limits. And the part of his brain that assesses risk is developed, unlike Lamine, because we know that doesn't develop until you're 26, 27. And because he is 37, he should actually be even more cautious, because at that age, injuries take a lot longer. But instead, he decided to continue playing through the pain, and now we're going to miss out on him for an entire month. So the club not too happy with Lewandowski's decision. Now, while we're still on the topic of Lewandowski, we do have a bombshell news coming out of Polish media, because in Poland, they're assuring that Lewandowski could end up playing in Atletico de Madrid. Now, as you know, Lewandowski's contract expires at the end of the season, somewhere in 2026. And even though Barcelona were flirting with the idea of maybe extending his contract, they have decided not to, because of his age and because of Flick's demands and high-intensity demands that Flick has of his players. And as a result, that means Lewandowski will be leaving Barcelona as a free agent this summer. And in Poland, they're saying that El Cholo Simeone holds Lewandowski in high regard and would not mind signing him for one season, kind of like what Atletico Madrid did with Luis Suarez when he left Barcelona, or even David Villa when he left Barcelona. And they're saying that Atletico Madrid could repeat the formula and that Lewandowski could end up in a Madrid-based club. Now, Atletico Madrid are not the only club interested in Lewandowski. Aside from the MLS in Saudi, there's also AC Milan and Juventus. They're both interested in him. In fact, Pini Zahavi has already met with AC Milan, because, again, they're interested in signing him. Of course, my question to you is, where would you like to see Lewandowski next? Would you like to see him one more season at Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, Juventus? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Or perhaps he just ends up retiring. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be uploading another video in a few moments, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, Barca.